Press Plus One attended the 2011 Juno Gala Awards. Here are the highlights from that big night in Canadian music.
How does it feel to win an award for Best Instrumental Album for your first album with vocals on it?
Yeah, the problem with our first two albums and why we didn't get it, they were totally instrumental. So totally instrumental, yeah. So I figured, yeah, this has been calculated for a while. I thought we need an instrumental Juno. How can we do that?
Right.
Vocals.
So what's next? Exactly. How do you
follow?
Acapella. Okay.
Just phasing out the instruments.
Well, you know, people ask me this question, what do you like more? But it comes from the same. I want to tell a true story. I want to touch people's hearts. I mean, we've all got stuff in common, you know, and like the music that I play is about human emotion, and the stories that we tell as an actor are about human interaction and human emotion, and so it's something that's I find them very, very similar. I mean, obviously it's crazy juggling careers sometimes with scheduling and availability and this and that, but at the end of the day, it's this. I'm just trying to tell a true story and trying to touch your heart and trying to, you know, get together with everybody.
In 2008, I won a contest in Edmonton when I was 16. I'm 18 now. The contest was called the Bounce Showdown, and I won that in 2008. And with the contest came 2 songs written and produced by Hip Joint Entertainment in Vancouver. So that's how I got started with music.
So in terms of traveling on then, what do you think support will do for you?
You know, I'm hoping to gain management, and I'm hoping to end up with a major label, and I really want to finish my album. So hopefully we'll see where this goes. This is such a blessing, and I'm really honored to receive this award.
You're still in terms of progressing your own career?
I would like to see, you know, the music in Canada, and particularly reggae music, you know, go to another level. There's a lot of good in the music industry, and there's a lot of artists that are sort of underdogs or in the underground scene that are not really discovered or recognized at the moment, but I am one of them, and I'm getting there day by day, and I have high hopes for the music industry in Canada. You know, it keeps going. It's actually a lot stronger than we give ourselves credit for. We just have to recognize that and push on with it, you know? So.
Well, even tonight there's some performances, and I don't really see much jazz performance. So it's definitely lacking in the programming, in my opinion, obviously. I think we're underrepresented, and that has a lot to do with the state of the industry, and it's also kind of how, to me, jazz is anyway. It's always an underground category, if you call it that, of music. And it's just something I think that we all have to really search and find. And it's not just music that is intellectual or things we're just trying to create new things. There's actually a lot of great fun music for people to listen to out there if they get the chance to hear it through whatever outlets they can find.
I hope there'll be some attention paid to the jazz category. I was kidding on the way over here that probably Monday morning, if I don't tell anybody that I won this award, no one will know, because I don't think there's any media coverage of jazz right now. At least there's no columnist in any of the major papers in Toronto, perhaps in some of the other cities. So I hope some of you will pay attention, because we're hardworking people too. Thanks.
Well, for me, I always took the view that I was going to just, instead of trying to win over industry or win over anybody, I was just going to look for fans and friends. And so I've had friends at the CBC and friends at the CTV and friends at all the journalists that have written about me tend to be friends. Not like, you know, and fans, so they love the music or they love something that we're doing. And I find like that's been a lot easier than trying to like sell my music, you know, to like everybody, you know, just to look for that one person that actually likes what we're doing. So I really, really feel awesome when I think about this award, because I know that, you know, people that I've either encountered or worked with in some way said yes, you know, and it's awesome. Every time somebody says yes, I feel awesome. Yeah.
Well, I generally don't feel comfortable accepting awards or doing this sort of thing, because I think my place is in the back and the artist is out front, and I So I think if they thought they were going to have a shot, they'd send an artist in. And I've known Ed a very long time, and he came into the office and had a little speech prepared, and almost had me in tears there. So yeah, I mean, it was very nice.
Thank you.
So now that you did the Drake for this award, are you ready to host next year's Junos?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Is that an offer? Is that a firm offer?
Oh yeah, I've got connections, man. No problem.
Okay.
Yeah. We were discussing this when we found out that you won. Headley's never won a Juno, even though they've been nominated 1,001 times. Does this technically break the curse, the Juno curse for them, or are they still following that?
That's funny. Someone had told me they were 0 for who knows how many. Something, right? So I would say certainly it breaks the curse. This is Headley's as much as anybody else. They are now Juno winners as well.
It was like, it didn't happen for a reason. What ended up happening is we had these songs, we recorded on my mom's reserve in like her little house in the attic. Was it the attic? Upstairs. And that's what happened is the songs just started being born. It was almost like from underneath us, you know. We chose the songs we were going to go with, and we went for the widest appeal, not to sell out, but to be heard. It's not everybody that listens to an Aboriginal artist, you know what I mean? So what we did was, we went with the broadest sense, and just, the songs were bigger than just us being Aboriginal also. A lot of them are infused with philosophy, but they have such a range lyrically, and there was so much effort put into it to make sure when somebody listens to it, it opens their minds, you know, and that kind of thing. But it was really making sure that we didn't do the overkill of the hey-ya-heys and so on, just to make sure that people will hear and tune in when they hear, instead of going, another one, you know what I mean? So
we tried to make it as subtle as possible, at the same time upfront as possible. So it's that was the trick behind, you know, those particular songs.
I learned a few years ago actually, that life is short, so you have to enjoy the time that you have. So I try my best to walk in the sunshine and at least try and find the sunshine, even when it's raining. So I think through my music I've been able to touch a lot of people's hearts, and that's what's connected me with so many people. That's why we've sold a million records in this country, you know.
What pin are you wearing on your jacket? It's hard to tell. It obviously means something special to you.
Well, what it is music counts. I sit on the board for music counts, which is, you know, we want to keep music in schools. We don't want to lose music. You know, when I moved to Canada in 1988, my guitar became a very good friend to me, Seamus. And the thought of a Canada without music is frightening to me. The thought of an immigrant like myself coming to this country and not having the opportunity to sit down and take care of Laurie's, what you're feeling when you move to another country, scares me. Not being able to give our children the gift of music scares me. And that's why I sit on the board, and that's why I wear the pin, because I want to make sure that music is alive and kicking here in this country for a long time, long after I'm gone.
So I'm curious, you guys aren't really a new group, you've been around for a few years, so your thoughts on winning the new group Juno?
We'll deflect that one to Caribou.
What's a new group anyways, right?
It's all relative.
Yeah, lots of things are new.
We came up with a really great little acronym actually in the other rooms. Let's hear it.
Said the whale, starving artists in debt. The whale of the debt we carry. And the name has no great meaning. We're not trying to say anything with it. It just has to live with our band for the rest of our career. Hopefully we don't grow out of the name and it ends up being silly. It's like a kid. You want to give it a good name so that in the future it doesn't look silly with a name. Like asparagus or something.